1.
Hello, this is my first entry for Tahitian Cider Works. My name is Lindsay Eshleman and I'm the lead bartender and cocktail program coordinator for Seascape Beach Resort here at the Monterey Bay. And my first recipe that I'm going to show you today, it's called the Yakima-Castroville Collins. And we call it the Yakima Collins because we are using, of course, our Yakima Valley dry hopped cider. And the reason why we're calling it the Castroville Collins is because about 20 minutes away is the artichoke capital of the world, and it's called Castroville. We love our artichokes here in Northern California. So I've made a cocktail that incorporates artichokes, our dry hop cider, and some gin. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our torch. We can use an industrial style torch that your kitchen and your chef uses, or you can use one of those little handheld torches that you can get at Bed Bath & Beyond that you do creme brulees with. But any torch will do. And you're going to take an artichoke heart and you're going to pull it out of the can, and preferably an artichoke heart that's been in water. You don't want any artichoke that's been flavored or salted or, rosemary or, sun-dried tomato flavor. You just want a plain artichoke. And you want to invert it on a napkin for a little bit and allow it to dry. Over here, I've infused some sugar with fresh rosemary. Very, very easy. You basically just put rosemary leaves in the sugar, give it a little bit of a muddle at the bottom of the glass with a muddler or a glass, it doesn't really matter. And just let those flavors infuse in the sugar. And so, with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and we're going to brulee this artichoke. This is going to be for our garnish later. So I'm going to cover the artichoke in rosemary infused sugar. And then I'm going to put it up on this metal container here. You can use a cookie sheet, just anything that's... And I'm going to go ahead and turn on my torch, and I'm going to go ahead and brulee this artichoke until it's a nice golden brown. And it's definitely getting there. You can see those sugars caramelizing at the top of the artichoke. And then we're going to go ahead and let that sit and let that cool while we make the rest of our cocktail. So, we are going to start with Beefeater London Dry Gin, and what I have done is I've actually infused the gin with chamomile and I put it back into the bottle. So you can do this with any chamomile. Store-bought chamomile is preferable and the easiest, so I just use this store-bought chamomile. Super easy, and you let it sit in the gin for a few days, up to a week and up to 2 weeks depending on the size of the batch. And so we're going to start with 1.5 ounces of chamomile infused gin. And we're also going to do some honey syrup, which is basically just 2 parts honey, 1 part hot water, and dissolve. Super, super easy. So we've got 1/2 ounce of honey syrup that we are going to add. 1/2 ounce of fresh squeezed lemon. We're going to shake that up, get that nice and cold. We are going to strain that over ice. You can use a Collins glass or a mason jar. I kind of like the cool rustic look of the mason jar. So we're going to go ahead and add our mixed ingredients. And then on the top, we're going to add about 1.5 ounces of Yakima Valley dry hopped cider. I just love this stuff, and it's a perfect complement to this cocktail. I'm going to go ahead and add that. Give it a quick stir. I'm going to add a little bit more ice on the top. And the final ingredient, and this is where the artichoke part goes into the cocktail outside of the garnish, it's called Cynar, and it is an Italian artichoke liqueur. Really beautiful, really herbaceous, and adds a really nice complement to the Yakima dry hop cider. And we are going to add just above 1/4 ounce, so in between 1/4 ounce and 1/2 ounce. And we're going to throw that over the top and float it. And then for our garnish, we're going to take a sprig of rosemary, give it a little spank to kind of release those essential oils in the rosemary, throw it in, and then I'm going to get a little cocktail pick, and I'm going to skewer our bruleed artichoke. And sometimes these can be really delicate, so you just have to be careful. And I'm going to go ahead and add a straw And there we are. We have our Yakima-Castroville Collins. Enjoy.